Hi guys, welcome to Spill the Testimony. This is your host Bincy. Welcome to a new episode. Today I'm here to talk about something that happened to me, I guess, last month. Was so exciting, and I am very excited to share about this testimony because this was so different from my previous testimonies. The way God actually talked about something in real time is actually something gives me chills. Like every single time when I'm going through something, and God was like, "Hey, I got you," and I'm like, "Wow, really? You are actually listening to my thought that I just had in my head." It just actually make me feel like how God is doing it. Like there is like billions and trillions of people in this world, and God actually listened to what I just thought. And that thought is just so amazing to me. And I'm like, how is that even possible? I'm like, am I that favorite? That was actually one thing that came up in my head. And I'm like, okay, thank you. So this is happening when I was going to school. I was in the train and I was scrolling in the TikTok. I think it was TikTok or Instagram Reels. I think it was TikTok. Okay, so I was scrolling in the TikTok and I saw this reel. Uh, it was a live quote. So it was about I don't want to say actually what it was, but I will give you a brief. Okay. So it was just me and my God. Okay. So it was about how do I say that? A life scenario was like I actually used to do this before and I was so happy doing it. It is not a sin. It is something like every single person do. But when I was doing it, God was like, "Hey, Vince, I don't like you doing that. It is not my will." And I'm like, everybody does that. It's not even a sin. And God is like, maybe it's not a sin, but I don't like you doing it. I like you. So I want you to stop it. It was so painful for me to stop it, but I just love my God so much. But before that, I wanted to say that I didn't stop it when He told me to stop it right away. It took me a lot of time and pressure from my God and pressure from the scenario to come out of it. So basically, when God was telling me, "Hey, I want you to stop this," and I'm like, "I really like doing this. I don't think this is wrong." And God was like, "Okay, what are we doing now?" Then I'm like, "I'm continuing." God was like, "But I don't want you to continue, right?" And this went like back and forth, back and forth. But at a point, I started getting hurt with what I'm dealing. Okay, so God actually made me get so much hurt so that I will come out of it. So I came out of it. But the moment I saw, I'm just a human, right? When you see things, you just get so emotional. I'm not like Jesus. I'm so human. I just have all this flesh in my inside me. So when I saw this reels, and I'm like, God, I just felt like for 1 second I could literally feel that crushing my heart. It just makes so much pressure in that 1 second. I'm like, God, sad. I become so sad. The moment I become so sad, God was like, look up. And I'm like, I'm literally, okay. So this is my phone and I'm scrolling and I saw this video. I read it and I'm like, oh my God, it just got this heartbreak for 1 second. And God was like, look up. And I'm like, what do you mean, look up? And I'm like, look up. And I'm like, okay. I looked up and there's this guy sitting in front of me, facing me. But I didn't see this guy's face first. When I was looking and then I was doing this, the straight I was looking at is his hoodie and the necklace that he was wearing. I do have a clip of it because I'm gonna blur his face, but I don't think I have his face. But that was a point where I was like, I want to share with you guys. So I took my phone, I literally flipped it and I took a picture. And I guess it was a picture or a video. I'm gonna attach it right here and you guys can see how this looks. I was looking at it and it just looks like I don't know how to explain it. Like I'm looking at it and it says fear of God because it was an essential hoodie. If you guys are familiar with that hoodie, it says fear of God, and his cross is hanging on top of it. It have the cross and Jesus Christ. And I'm like, oh my God. And God was telling me, you left that thing that I told you to leave because of fear of God. I am a person who thinks that I'm my God's best friend, right? And sorry, my throat is too dry. Okay, I'm somebody who thinks that I'm my God's best friend. And God told me that you left that because it was a fear of God. And that actually stuck in my head the whole day. And I'm like, we are best friends. Why you want me to fear you? I'm like Moses, guys. I'm like Moses. I'm just like talk to God like he's my best friend. I'm like, why you did that? I didn't like it. But I don't know how he takes it, but he takes it in a good way. Maybe he know my heart and he's like, she's not saying it in a bad way. She really means that I'm his best friend or something. Every single time I argue with God, I'm like, God, you want me to fear you? Like, what do you mean we're best friends? And now you're telling me that you want me to fear you? That doesn't sound right to me. And I was so confused. And I had this, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? The whole day, this thing that I saw in the morning was so disturbing. And I'm like, fear of God, fear of God. Okay, the whole day passed. So it was a Tuesday. The Tuesdays, my classes are fully packed. I don't even have a break in between. So it's like back to back classes. Once I'm done, I'm walking towards my train. I have to catch my train. So what I do is like I go to the YouTube and I just go play the first worship music that is on the first, first thing I see. And I put it on, I put my AirPods and I walk away. So I listen to that the whole time when I'm coming back. Sorry. And what happened is I put this song and this song started playing and I'm not that much into it. I don't know, I wasn't listening it that much. I was like, oh, this is my song. I usually play worship dance songs, like upper room worship was my go-to thing. So it was an upper room worship and I'm listening to this and I'm like, yeah, I like it. And the chorus became like going again and again. Then God was like, I just felt like this lyric is actually going inside my head. This is actually talking to me. This is for me. Then I listened to the lyric. It says, fear of God type of love. And I'm like, fear of God type of love. It just goes like fear of God type of love, fear of God type of love. That's the girl is singing it again and again, and it was going inside my head. And I'm like, what do you mean, God? And the Holy Spirit inside me was interpreting that thing towards me. It says like, in the morning you were stressed that you want me to fear, and that was your concern. That is not fear. It's a fear of God, is a type of love. Fear of God is a type of love. And I'm like, wow, what do you mean? And God was like, you like me more than something that you did before. That is a form of love. When I told you in the morning, it was fear of God. It wasn't something like when I wasn't telling you to fear me. It was the type of love that you gave me that I'm so happy that you gave. And I was like, wait a minute, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. And at that point, I'm like, oh my God, my thoughts and my God are so related. They're just one. Like every single time I'm worried about a small thing, he just comes down. He's like, hey, listen, let me explain this. I want to tell we don't want any miscommunication happening between us. Let me explain my part. And I'm like, you didn't have to do that, but you did. So happy. And I'm so grateful. I'm going to worship you as before, no matter what. People will be like, do you still worship even if you are in the rock bottom? What am I supposed to say? Yes, I do worship. I started from there. I saw my God when I was in the rock bottom. Nobody was there. I didn't saw my friends. I didn't saw my family. I only saw his hands. He was the only person who literally took me out of that pit. What do you mean? That question is invalid in my life. I was there and he was with me there. I mean, like, only him. That's not a question for me. And I don't know why I just got emotional. I'm like, you care about me that much. And I wanted to post this on my Instagram. I'm not posting the whole story for sure, but I wanted to post a song like Fear of God type of love. So I took a picture of a sky and I wanted to post this song, right? So I went to the song like audio and I went to upper room. I'm searching Fear of God type of love. No, nothing like. Then I was like type of love. No, there's nothing. Then I was like Fear of God. There is nothing. Then I was like, okay, let me go back to the YouTube and go to that song, and then I will, from the title, I will get that song, right? I went there, then I understood it was a spontaneous music. It wasn't a song, it wasn't a lyric, it was something the girl actually started singing. You can just search it up. I am not sure if I can play this or not, but uh, let me see. Oh, yeah. You can go to the upper room and just type in make room plus you won't relent spontaneous. So you can see, you can hear, listen to this music. It have like Fear of God type of love like on repeat. I didn't want it to play. I'm not sure I can play because it's a worship song, but I'm not taking the risk. Please go and like see how that works. And I was so happy and I was trying. I'm like, God, I was like thinking like this. Maybe it wasn't spontaneous. It was for me. It was for me. It literally spoke to me. Maybe that worship happened months before this happened, years before this happened. That lyric was given to her for me. I would like to believe like that. And yeah, that was the tea for today. That was my testimony. It's God listen to every single thought that goes across your head. He doesn't want it to mess with the enemy if he's trying to, pull you away. If you are closer to God and your will is to be closer to God, he wants to be aligned with that. He wants you to be with that. And I just wanted to tell you guys, just be closer to him. There's nothing else that's worth it more than that. This is the most thing that you can do to have a peaceful life. That the peace I am actually feeling once I became so closer to God is unbearable, unimaginable. I, I can be sitting here like studying nothing, and I have a lot of work to do. And I'm like, I'm not encouraging people to not study or not to work, but like my God is like, you're tired. We can do this. We can do this. And he just sit with me. It's like, it's okay. We got this. We got this. And I'm like, I want you guys also to feel this. Okay, one more thing. If anybody had this type of experience, please comment down below. I wanted to know because I never heard a lot of people talking about their daily experience that they have with the God. I have a lot I would like to share here, every single stories. So if you are somebody who had a lot of connection with God or like who talks to God every single day, let me know. We want to be friends. We should be friends, I guess. Yeah. So that was it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed the tea for today. Yeah. Thank you. If you like the channel, do subscribe. Let's pray for each other and have so much fun with God. Bye.